Hi there! Today we'll be painting this pumpkin with a blue glass standing on a table. I really like this subject and the real-time painting was about 1 hour and 20 minutes. I hope you learned something from it, so let's dive right in. So first let's see the setup of how I paint when I have a reference. On the farthest left side I have my iPad with a reference picture and it's on roughly the same size as my panel. I can zoom in, it's very easy, I love it. Then I have my wooden panel. I just taped it to this MDF board. I like to use a gray undertone for my palette because it allows me to mix my colors easily. If you would mix it on a pure white palette, for example, it would be very tricky to see the colors as they would really be. On my panel, I already indicated some dots on every 5 centimeters. Then I'm looking at the areas where the lines actually intersect with my grid. And the underground of my panel, by the way, is some gesso mixed with burnt umber, sorry. Gives this nice surface to paint on. Well, we have the shadows. For that I'm taking the burnt sienna and also some pyrrole red. Then we also have a very bright orange. Can we get that when we mix these two colors? No, let's take some of that yellow with pyrrole. Now that's the power of the grays, the gray colors. It really lets all the other colors pop. Take a little bit of that and add more yellow. And if this, in the end, does not suffice, we can always add, for example, a cadmium yellow too. Taking some ochre and mixing my white with that. So have a bit more of a creamy color there. A lighter version also, an even lighter one. For that cup, of course, ultramarine blue. And for the darker parts, we'll maybe just see what we can do if we make it a little bit purplish. It seems like a nice color for those shadow areas. Now for the lighter parts, we'll just use white. As for the background, I'm starting with the burnt sienna and the ultramarine blue. Adding also some yellow ochre to it to mute it down. Because I'm aiming for a bit of a grayed out background. White. Not too much. Just a bit. And then later on, if I put this on there a bit thinly or rubbing it out, I can get a lot of nice variations on that background, I feel. And then we have this nice orange coming into play. I'm putting this a bit thicker on there so it's more vibrant, I would say. And here I'm doing it a bit more lighter. Rubbing it out a bit more. With a lighter value for the shadow area here, I'm going to use a bit of that background color as well, because it's quite dark. As we move to the top, it gets cooler. And this I'm just scumping on, because I don't want the white to be too bright. Lightest version also. We're gonna make a near black, just taking that burnt sienna and ultramarine blue again, making a very dark tone. First I'll start with the shadows again. Muted reflection due to the blue glass. Well, we can of course make it as enhanced as we want. After all, it's our painting. We decide what we do. Same here for the top part. Just some pure ultramarine blue. Here's some distorted view here as well. Here we have a bit of a lighter shade. Back to some pure to fill in the gaps. The foot actually is a bit greenish, so just adding some of this mixture there. We're going to extend the line work a bit, because I'm about to plot in the background, and then it helps to have the outlines a bit more determined. Do with the background, shall we? So this, I think that will do. Then in the foreground, it's much lighter, huh? And then we have a bit of green as well. Dark for some bases. For example, here. Actually, I think I might be adding some cadmium yellow. Just to get that punch for the orange. We'll continue on this one a bit. You see that makes quite a difference in the orange. And here also you see some orange colors. Get some bit darker. Doesn't have to be an exact copy of what we see. Give yourself that freedom. No, we don't have any greens on the palette yet, so let's change that. Going for ochre to create a bit of a muted green with that ultramarine blue. You know, if you look at this vegetable, it's kind of an artwork on its own, with all these colors going over it. You know, I feel that painting, it really lets you appreciate more everyday items around you. I mean, look at that. Making a bit more near black. We do not want to see an edge here where that pumpkin touches the ground. We want to conceal that. Make it as soft as possible. I'm still trying to give that shape to it. And letting the brush do the most work for that. Just by following the shape. This is cadmium red light. It's a bit more of an orange red. And I feel this is perfect to give some more buzz. Making it slightly redder by adding some of the pearl red to the mixture. Trying to get some more of that form of those shapes in there. You can see also smoothing that out a bit. Now let's see what we can do with this cup. Orange. Start with some orange. Some bright orange, the cadmium red one. We want to show the people, hey guys, look, this is a reflection. And hey, here you can kind of look through the glass. Edge of this reflection is a bit soft. Orange and blue, they go well together, you can tell that, huh? If you want to get orange, you mix red and yellow, and right opposite to that is blue. and that makes it a very nice contrast. Just making some random marks on this glass. Well, not totally random, of course, but just to give it that impression that it's glass. And some very bright whites. I'll put that on a bit thickly. This one is a little bit less white. No, I think the glass, I'm satisfied with the glass like that. Let's continue a bit on this one. We have these beautiful lumps, like here. And they're a tiny one. It adds extra depth to it when we do this. Also, again, don't forget that everything in the world has a shadow, so adding that to it. One's a bit further away, so a bit less sharp. I'm gonna add some lighter tones now here. Now we have a quite well-established base for the painting, and you should see this is where you can really enjoy those brush marks. When you have your solid foundation done and you're happy the way it's going, the heading, then start tweaking, load that brush up good. You see also immediately that the other colors on this top part of the veggie are instantly also getting darker because we're putting a lighter color next to it. Working it out a bit here. And I do like that you have on the reference also a bit of that reflected light from that bottom one, so let's see if we can achieve that. We don't take a too strong color, and we'll blend it with one of these whites, and a bit of a pinkish, and then jot that on there too. Can be a bit more dramatized, so I'm adding some more red. Adding some more contrast again there. darker. Besides being darker, that's more drama. And we all love drama when it comes to painting. Adding some more depth and texture to this foreground part of the table. Kind of looks like wood. But I do think I will still need some ivory black. In the end. You know what they say? Once you go black, you don't go back. And that's definitely the case, because you cannot go darker than pure black. So if you use it, do so sparingly, please. And when you're building up your painting, it's always good not to immediately start with black, but to leave that for the very end. Or if you have a black background, of course. Black, it can really dullen if you have to go over it again. Cracks in the wood. Now we get to here. Place where no light shines. Let's not forget about the form of this pumpkin. And that's something we can really enhance here in the shadow part. And we have some of these warts. And we have some damage also on this one. See here? Like that. Trying to do it just with like one stroke. Darker ones. Adding a bit more of the blue-green for that nice contrast. Very careful there not to take off any paint from the cup. And actually, I think it might be nice if we add a little glow here. So let's just go ahead and do that. We're just going to take some of this white, lay it on the background there. And then we're we're just blending it in. First outward. And then going over it to soften it up. Applying it on there. And of course we also see that in the glass again. And on the table we also have some edge here, which is catching light. But it gets less as you move that way. And then here, add some more blue on the cup. And that's as far as I will take this one. But it was a very pleasant ride. Just going to scratch out my name here. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. And also feel free to hit that like button. It really gives me the encouragement and support to keep going and making these videos for you guys. Also, if you want to stay posted on whatever I make in the future, don't forget to subscribe, of course. Happy painting!